I never thought this beat would actually win, but somehow it did. Out of hundreds of producers, my track took first place in a massive BeatStars contest, and the prizes were insane. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made it and why simplicity was the key. Let's dive straight into it. Okay, so first of all, some context. Back in the summer, BeatStars announced this huge contest, which was called the Funky Drummer Contest, and the idea was to celebrate Clyde Stubblefield, one of the greatest drummers of all time, and hip-hop music has used Clyde's breaks for years. The Funky Drummer break is infamous. So the contest was simple. You just had to download the break of Clyde Stubblefield and use it to make a new track. Simple as. Now the thing is, when I saw this contest, it was 2 days before the deadline. You can see that originally the deadline was July 10th, and I saw it on July 8th, and I thought, why not? Let's just make something quick and simple. You never know what could happen. So I made the beat super quick, uploaded it, and then crossed my fingers. Then last month I got the email from them telling me that I had somehow won, and honestly, it's completely made my entire year. Like when I was seeing the list of prizes that I was gonna get, I literally couldn't believe it. It was worth more than anything I had in my studio, to be honest. So now let me show you how I made the beat and the thinking behind my decisions and what I think led to me winning. Okay, quickly before we get into the video, we're gonna choose a winner for the plugin giveaway from my last video. If you didn't enter this, well, you've missed out on over $200 worth of plugins from Raccoon Audio. But don't worry, because I plan to do another giveaway at the end of the month for another really cool plugin. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. So here are all the entrants that commented the word Raccoon on my previous video or on the YouTube short, and let's see who wins. So congratulations to the winner. I'll send over all the details. And if you don't want to miss out on the next giveaway at the end of this month, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, back to the video. So when it came to this beat, obviously the most important thing was starting off with the Clyde Stubblefield break. Honestly, I didn't do anything to the actual break. I didn't chop it up and rearrange it. I just wanted it clean as it was. So this is how it sounded without any processing. It's so clean, it's so nice. So I started off with a bit of RC20 just to slightly change the tone of the sound. So you can see Dirty Vintage Drums preset. So instantly that's just added a bit of crunch, made it a bit more heavier and aggressive. And that's because from the beginning, my idea was to use a guitar as the main melodic layer. And I wanted it to be very much like funk and rock based. So my thinking was to start off by just expanding the drums, just adding a few small layers just to emphasize them a bit more. And to do that, I literally just used loops. There was no reason to overcomplicate it. Like I said, I had a day to submit it. So we started off with a hi-hat loop. Then a perk loop from my own kit. And another perk loop. So this one's cool because it obviously has those vocal stabs in there. So instantly you're just starting to add something a bit different, a bit more texture and whatnot. And then to process the entire drum group, again, another RC20. So this was important because we're now getting more noise in there, just making it like grittier, really in your face, which was important. And then finally added some OTT, which I always do to my drum group. I just love how it brings everything up. So that was the foundation to work with. Now, obviously, just from how good that drum groove is, you could add anything. It's going to sound good. So now we go on to the guitars. Like I said, I already had the idea of the guitar being the main instrument. And I got this from noodling on the guitar, just literally sitting there for 10 minutes or so, just coming up with little things. And then realizing that the simplest thing sounded the best. So I plugged in my guitar and this is what I played. And I'll show you how I played it. So you can see how simple that is. But it grooves in conjunction with the break, and that was the most important thing. So then in terms of processing, I just used Guitar Rig, and I've got a custom made preset. So it just had a nice tone to it. It, works pretty well. So this is what the recorded version sounds like. And then with the drums. And then because I wanted that depth really quickly, because it just makes it easier to work on the rest of the track, I went straight in and added a bass. And I just played this in live, basically repeating the exact same thing from the guitar. So like I said, note for note copying the guitar, but it just reinforces the groove and rhythm, so everything is like working together. One important thing to note is that the processing on the bass did make a difference to give it some more grit and aggressiveness that was needed. So all together with the drums and guitar, so once that was done, I just wanted to add a few more guitar layers before we moved on to any other melodic sound. So the first thing was something I could just hear, like in the intro especially. So the way I come up with parts for the guitar on top of the main melody is just knowing the key I'm in. So obviously we were in C minor. And then I would just stick to the pentatonic scale in that key. And then you just improvise and come up with stuff. So that principle applied to the next guitar part, which was basically just improvised, just coming up with some like nice strums and little licks that sound good. When it comes to guitar, I'm very much influenced by Pink Floyd, my favourite band of all time. So you'll tend to notice things in that vein, very bluesy. So altogether it sounded like this. So that was it for the guitar parts. It was pretty quick and easy to do, but like I said, it reinforced the main idea and the groove, and everything went together perfectly. So when it came to adding any more melodic sounds, my thinking was keep it simple and just complement what we've already got. We don't need anything like major in front of the guitar. So we added a vocal stab, which vocal stabs sound really good when it comes to this sort of funky stuff. But then more importantly, we needed to add some keyboard. So I wanted to again keep it like live sounding, like this could all be performed by a band. I didn't want to add anything too virtual or synthetic. First thing was a Rhodes keyboard. I tend to add a Rhodes keyboard into every single beat I make. I just think they sound so good. So the idea of this Rhodes was to just do a stab on the snare, which is something very typical in this sort of music. We just wanted to get some really nice big chords. So by itself, it sounded like this. So just a short staccato sound, and then altogether it was like this. So you can't really hear it, but it's just adding to the feel. Like when that snare hits, it really snaps, you know? So if we mute the guitars, you should be able to notice it. And then we did a similar sort of thing with the organ sound. So just these short, stabby sounds. For me, this was basically the hook, just adding an extra sound just to mix things up a bit. So altogether. And that's how simple it was. The only other thing was adding some processing to the entire group, the melody. Again, RC20, just to add some more noise, some more grit, and just make everything sound like it was from back in the day. And then the last thing that really mattered was the arrangement, because obviously it's a simple idea. You can't just have it repeating the whole time. I didn't really have the time to add any more layers, so the arrangement was important to keep things coming in and out. So sections where the guitar drops out, you let the bass drive the rhythm. You don't have the organ or the Rhodes always there. You drop drums out in, meaningful places to add emphasis, and then from there you can't really go wrong. So the reason that I wanted to do a more funk rock based beat instead of my usual boom bap hip hop soul sort of thing, looking at the prizes and looking at the judges, it made sense to make something that would be more aligned with what they're into, I thought. Plus, again, I mentioned when I heard that break, the first thing that jumped out was a guitar riff. It just made sense. It just felt right. So that's why I did it that way. And yeah, that's how we ended up with this full beat. contest has made me realize a few things. First of all, simplicity is always better. You need to remember that the main idea is always the most important thing. It doesn't matter about all the extra flourishes and extra touches if the main idea isn't good enough. And second of all, but super importantly, you need to put yourself out there. When you see competitions and contests and beat battles, just enter them, just try your best. You never know what can happen. You can end up with life-changing prizes like I have in this instance. Thanks to winning this contest, I've now got new gear, new connections, and a newfound sense of belief in my own ability. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this motivates some of you to enter more, put yourself out there, and you never know what can happen. And if you want to see a video where I want a gift beat battle for Ed Talenti, check out this video right here.